Okay. All right. Got some business to take care of, guys. So Project 2025. Anybody heard anything about it? Anybody do any research about 2025? The Project 2025? Well, this guy apparently did. All right. He's a lawyer, and his name is Augustus Corbett or Corbet. Hopefully I'm not saying his name wrong, but he's got some pretty interesting things to say about Project 2025. Now, if you're a conservative, you probably are going to agree with most of the policies or all of the policies in Project 2025. It just means a reversal of everything Joe Biden's done and is doing. Okay, let's just set the stage because if you are a person who is busy, if you are a person who doesn't really follow politics, you don't care about any of this stuff, but you want some facts, check out this video because I want to expose to you how disingenuous people like this are when it comes to basic policies and how they use racism to get you to do what they want for their party. It's absolutely crazy, man. We're living in some times where, people of his generation want to push the racism narrative till the end, until the wheels fall off. Guys, it shouldn't. None of this stuff really matters. All right, this is not our purpose. Is not to come down here and talk about how dark our skin is and what have they done for black people and what are they going to try to do for black people. Anyway, without going on a big rant before this gets started, I want to go ahead and let this play, and I want to offer my opinion about what he's saying because it's a little disturbing what he's got to say. And it's very typical of the black liberal. And I myself am black, and I don't believe that the conservative policies are a danger or are racist. All right, I just want to state that. But here, let me go ahead and play this, and I will try not to stop it, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be tough.
Civil rights lawsuits. We don't have intentional discrimination or overt discrimination. We as black Americans know we don't have to be called the N-word to be discriminated against. We know that, having been the victims of discrimination all our lives. We know that racists nowadays are much more smarter and wiser than to use a
racists now are much more smarter and wiser. Okay. So much I could say about that. But anyway, how smart are the racists? Okay, because they're so smart about hiding racism that you could barely see it. You could hardly see it. All right. This will get us absolutely nowhere when we concentrate on how racist everybody is. We're getting to thought crime territory. What you think about something is actually racist. And it's a crime to want your country to be free, for your borders to be closed, and for your economy to do well nowadays. That's all racist. All right. But for black liberals to take everything back that was stolen from them because this country was built off the sweat and the backs of black people. This country was built off the sweat and backs of many different kind of people. First of all, okay, I'm so sick of the hierarchy black liberals, and the way that they cause division here amongst people that look like me. I'm just tired of it. I'm absolutely tired of it, and we're going to nail this crap because this guy has nothing intelligent to say.
Racial slur. Nonetheless, they discriminate against African Americans all the time. And you see, what the law requires is that you show that the discrimination was intentional. And again, short of somebody calling you the N-word, it is very, very difficult to prove that the discrimination was, in fact, intentional.
It's a reason why it's hard to prove because it doesn't exist. Okay. If anybody on this planet is racist, I'm going to say this. If there are any racist people, I'm sorry, but black people are the most racist people on the planet. Why would I say that? Why would I say this? Why would I go against my own skin color and say something crazy like that? Because I grew up in East Baltimore. Okay. The most liberal city on planet Earth, one of them. Okay. And I know for a fact that black people are some of the most racist people in the world. They get away with saying things that if a white person ever said it, Trump is going through this right now. If a white person ever said half the things that black people say, like Al Sharpton, they would lock him up for 100 years and throw the key away. Okay. They would burn him alive. Okay. That's what we're talking about here. So the only racists here are the ones talking about racism continually every day.
So the law allows us to show disparate impact. Disparate impact means that we can show that blacks disproportionately have been affected by this type of discrimination. And that then shows the intent of the discrimination. So it's a way to sort of get around the fact that intent.
Do you guys see how this works? So I want to give you an analysis here because it's election time, right? Just think about this for 1 second. It's election time. What could make you forget about how much things cost, how tough your life is, how open the borders are, the crime? What is so powerful that it can make you forget about all of that? The race hustling, the race narrative. When they come out and tell you everybody is racist, this right here is what he's doing. Is hyper inflammatory. You're hypersensitive about your race, and there's nothing you could do to change it. Don't forget that part, because there's nothing on planet Earth that you could do about changing your race. That's why the devil uses it. That's exactly why the devil is using the race narrative, because there is absolutely nothing you could do about it. You can't change your skin color. I said this in so many videos. There's no way in the world you could do it. If you wanted to, you couldn't bleach your skin. You couldn't do anything about it. You can change your hair, Joy Reid, but you can't do anything about racism. You can't do anything about your skin color. All right. So, and you can't do anything about racism. If somebody's racist, there's nothing you can do about that. So what's the best thing to do? The best thing to do is to move forward. That's what the best thing to do is. Discover who people really are in your everyday life. Don't judge them on their skin color, but on the content of the character. That's what we're supposed to be doing. But these people like this, they keep the racism going on, and it's very, very, very divisive. All right? It's going to cause you to miss out on a whole lot. Do not let someone tell you that racism trumps how well you can take care of your family, because Trump can fix the economy. But that's probably all he's going to be able to do. They're going to attack him in every front. Just because the mainstream media is telling you somebody's racist, that doesn't mean that it's true. All right. Most of the people saying that Trump is racist have no idea who he is. I've seen countless people come out and feel so bad after they find out the truth about Donald Trump. They feel like dog crap because they've been lied to. So many people scour the internet. They went to Trump rallies and they said, oh, my goodness, I thought it was going to be a bunch of racist people. Some of the nicest people on the planet go to Trump rallies. I dare you go and take a look. Stop listening to these kind of people. They get you in trouble.
Intentional discrimination is very, very hard to prove. If we can show that enough blacks have suffered some injury or some damages because of a particular type of discrimination, then that meets the disparate impact doctrine.
Do you hear what this man is saying? If racism has impacted you in your heart, okay, basically, if he can play the strings on your heart, pull the strings of your feelings hard enough, we can prove this racism is real. Did it impact you guys? Does the racism impact you? I mean, when you go in a store, can you still buy food, or does it say blacks not allowed? No, you can't afford to buy the food. That's the problem here. All right, that's what these people don't want you to. They don't want you to talk about it. No, they want to keep their narrative going so they can always feel like they win. You know, we're Black America. We win. We're African Americans. We've been treated. We're disadvantaged. That's a damn lie. You're not disadvantaged. This is not slavery, what we're going through, bro. Some of these people that are saying this have the same opportunities as somebody else. Look at his subscription. Go look at his channel. Okay. YouTube's a liberal platform. They've been equally fair. All right. We have the same rights as anybody else. Taraji P. Henson was just on BET Awards. Now, this is a 900-page document. She knows nothing about conservatism, nothing about it. If she sat down and understood sat down with a conservative and talked with a conservative for an hour, I bet she'd change her mind and she would never forget it. But when you listen to guys like this tell you how black people are hated on and it's so racist, DEI actually works. No, DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, does not work. I'm going to tell you why. Because when you go for a job and somebody picks you because of your skin color and not because of the merits or not because of your qualifications, you don't last very long. And then you think that you're supposed to just black your way into everything. I'm black, so I got it. That's not how things work in the real world. He's delusional because he thinks that he can weaponize your skin color against a money system like a Rockefeller money system. Your skin color doesn't work. At the end of the day, you have the same rights. Tell me one thing that a white man can do in this country that a black man can't do, bro. Tell me. And I'll show you many examples to debunk that entire narrative, okay? Because there are many successful black people out here, and they're mostly conservative, by the way.
Well, they want to get rid of that so that a civil rights lawsuit will be dismissed by a judge unless you're able to show just some overt, intentional racism. And again, that's hard to do nowadays. Now,
He just gave himself away right there. Intentional racism. It's hard to do nowadays. It's very hard to prove intentional racism nowadays. I wonder why that would be. He shot himself in the foot. How long in this video? We're not even that far into his little podcast video. But he's saying that it's very hard to prove that. I know I keep stopping it, guys, but this is just too stupid. I just can't let him go on. Yeah, it's very hard to prove intentional racism. Why? Because it barely exists. That's why. That's why you have so many billionaires, like Oprah Winfrey still crying about her skin color, or like Jay-Z still crying about the N-word when he said it 8 trillion times in his songs. This is why you have these issues. This is why we can see that it's not real. Okay? It's just not real. Nobody would tolerate real racists. I'm black. I would never, and I'm a conservative. I love Trump. I love conservatism. Okay? I love my white people, black people, or Asian. I love everybody. I would never hate on somebody because their skin color is stupid. I'm just common sense. Okay? Nobody would tolerate a real racist. You wouldn't be able to do it. Your best bet is to just be cool with people. That's the best bet in 2024 right now. It's just too much information out here, too much technology. Let's just not chase the race narrative into the future here, guys. Don't let your great grandparents like this guy right here, Augustus, tell you that the world doesn't like you because of your skin color, like Joe Biden did when he went to Morehouse College, telling all those highly educated black men that the world is going to hate them when they come out of one of the toughest colleges to get into on the planet. When you get out, guys, don't forget that the world hates you. That is not an uplifting message, okay? This is not uplifting what he's talking about. What I'm talking about is actually uplifting. It'll lift you away from that. It will take you to a higher level, okay, in your understanding and in your wealth and in your finances. And when you can open up your mind to say, you know what, I'm going to experience life on my own and not let these people dictate and tell me how things are when they don't even know me or my circumstances. Give
you an example so that you can see exactly how this plays out in court. Meet Rhonda. She is a real estate investor who buys and flips houses. Recently, she sold a home she bought before the pandemic and made a nice profit. The money from the sale was deposited into her Bank of America account. A few days later, Rhonda went to the bank to withdraw $27,000 to invest in another deal. Despite being a loyal customer for 15 years, the manager refused her request for no legitimate reason. Rhonda tried another branch the next day. This time, the teller asked her for her driver's license to verify her identity. After showing her ID, the teller still refused and called the supervisor. The supervisor confirmed Rhonda was the account holder, but started asking offensive questions like, "Where did you get this money?" Rhonda refused to answer the question, and the branch manager was called. The manager.
Okay. There's a lot that could have gone wrong. I'm going to let him finish. But Rhonda here, I'm guessing that she just made a big transaction. He didn't say that she's been a real estate investor for many, many years. She made a lot of money already. So, a lot of money appeared in her account. Okay. It sounds like a precaution from a bank. Okay. If you deal with banks, they're very, very particular. So all this money appeared in her account. She's trying to take out 27. First of all, if you're going to take out a lot of money, you better call the bank first. Make sure they got that kind of money at the bank for you to withdraw. That's first thing. Second of all, yeah, we want to know where the money came from. What's wrong with that? All of a sudden, you got all this money and you want to withdraw it. Yeah, this is just a bank, guys. Okay, that's how banks are. I'm pretty sure the teller wasn't saying she's black. How does she get that money? That's what he wants you to think. I bet you.
Also asked offensive questions. Frustrated and knowing she was being racially profiled, Rhonda asked why. They responded by calling the police, who verified her identity, but the bank still didn't honor her request. Now let's stop there. Rhonda, a legitimate real estate investor, sold a house, made a nice penny on it. The money was deposited in her bank account, and so then she wanted to use some of that money to buy and flip another house. So she went to her bank that she had been banking with for 15 years and said, hey, I'd like to withdraw $27,000. She went through all the protocols. She showed them her ID, put in a PIN number, all that you have to do. And lo and behold, they refused to give her the money. So she left that bank. That was one day. She left that bank. Next day went to another bank, figuring, okay, maybe.
I want to know, I got some questions here. Does Rhonda live in a liberal city? Okay, because there are some racist people out here. In my opinion, to me, the ones that I experience in my city, the liberals, they don't like black people. Why? Because there's a lot of crime in the liberal cities. There's a lot of people doing some strange things for some change, okay, in the liberal cities. I just want to let you guys know that. This is not a case of racism. All right, they didn't call her racial slurs or say that we're not doing this because we're doing this because you're black. Nobody said that. There was obviously something else in this story that he's not telling you, and he won't tell you because it'll give everything away. I know how these people operate, bro. He's being very disingenuous. I can already tell you that. But there's something else to this story.
Maybe, the teller had a bad day or something. Same thing happened at second bank. Very same thing happened again. But this time, they called the police and asked her a bunch of offensive questions.
Bank of America, by the way, has been under a lot of scrutiny. They refuse to give people their money. Did y'all hear that story? This just happened a few years back during COVID. All right. When they were refusing to give people money. So some companies are just greedy. Okay. Some companies, some banks actually. Best bank to do business with, by the way, is a credit union. If you're going to have a bank account, always bank with a credit union. Everybody should know that. For all you young people out there, bank with a credit union if you're going to have a traditional bank account. I wouldn't deal with Bank of America, some of these wacky-dacky banks. Do your research about what bank you can. Don't just go open a bank account. You can't do that. All right. First of all, he should have said that, but he doesn't know any better. Banks are banks. No, they're not.
Where did you get this money? Something that never happens to whites. Not those.
How does he know that never happens to whites? See what I'm saying? Like, they paint everything with such a big brush, don't they? It's like, oh, just all this. Yeah, all this never, ever happens to whites. For the fact that you have to say it never happens to whites, like this shows your racism, okay? I told you there's a group of people out here that are racist and they don't look white, bro. But there's a lot of white liberals out here that just go along with this stupid stuff. A lot of them don't feel racist or something like that. They would never think that. They have white guilt. A lot of white liberals, they have white guilt, but there's a different kind of stuff going on with there. It's a different video on white liberals and how they operate and what they do, like how they supported Black Lives Matter, and they felt sorry for them. But it wound up backfiring, and it wound up making Black Lives Matter look really bad. They took advantage of a lot of people, but white liberals felt bad for them. They felt bad for black people. Oh my goodness, they're so easily fooled. That's the trick. That's the trouble. That white liberals are just so easily fooled. Some of them I think are racist. I've talked to some white liberals before, and their ideologies are like very strange when it comes to black people. All right, it's definitely not conservative. Conservatives we treat you like. I've been around a lot of white conservatives, black conservatives, Asian conservatives, and they're just conservatives. They just treat everybody like normal people, and that's the best way to be. That's why I like Trump, because he's very natural around people. He can say what he like. We know he's not racist. All right, but Augustus, we can kind of tell that Augustus here is racist. All right, I'm being nice. I'm trying. There's a lot of things I like to say, but I can't. I don't want to offend anybody, but this is what it is. This is what we're talking about. So this way of thinking is going to get you in trouble. It's going to limit you When I say get you in trouble, it's going to limit you. So if you walk around thinking everybody hates you, and trust me, I used to be like that. That used to be me. I used to walk around thinking that white people hate me because of guys like this telling me this stuff and growing up like this. It's just not true. So I had to get out and experience life and experience people on my own. And I made my own decision. So that's what everyone needs to do. Not listen to a bunch of people tell you how you should think and what's how this is awful. Now, all I'm doing is giving you my take on it, my experience. And I've done business with a lot of white folks. I've done business with a lot of black folks. And what I found out is that it doesn't matter what skin color you are. There's a certain kind of people that really just don't look at the world like him. They don't look at everything like that. And most of the times they don't live in like a hood. Like if you live in a hood, and even some people who live in a hood, they don't look at it like that. I'm going to just say that right now, because everybody where I come from is not like that. There's many people who are very conservative. They don't look at people like with their skin color, because it's not fair. Like I said, you can't change your skin color. So to make it a big issue, you'll be throwing rocks at the moon. Okay, you'll never hit it.
Kind of offensive questions. Okay, so that is what happened in my scenario here. Let's go back and see what happened. It took Rhonda 2 months to get her money through a wire transfer. She just got discouraged, didn't want to go back. So instead of showing her face, she decided to do it through a wire transfer. In other words, this is banking while black. That's what she dealt with.
That guy is absolutely unbelievable. So banking while black. All right. Like, this is crazy. Guys, do yourself a favor. Don't hold on to these kind of narratives, man. Don't take that to the bank when you go there. Don't embarrass yourself. You ever think about how it feels? Like, if you're a black person, you ever think about how it feels when you accuse a white person of being racist? Like, reverse, put the shoe on the other foot. What are you, a black person, and somebody accuses you of not liking white people and you're racist, if you're really not like that? Don't you think that hurts if somebody thinks that about you? I mean, you shouldn't really care if you know you're not. If you are, then that's a problem. But if you know you're not, do you ever think about how that actually feels to someone when you accuse them of something they're not? It's just not right, man. It's not fair. We're all in the court system trying to prove to judges that people are doing racist things towards us when it's very hard to prove. Guys, don't listen to Augustus, okay? Don't listen to Augustus, all right? Live your life. Be free. Put God first, and everything will come, all right? But you have to have a kind heart, man, and you have to forgive other people, even if they do discriminate against you, which is really rare, okay? It's just rare. It's more likely for a black person to be absolutely racist towards a white person than the other way around. I'm sorry. It's just the truth. It's what I've seen and witnessed in my own life. So, the moral of the story is that, let's not get tied up in all this. The generation before us here, some of our uncles and aunts, they've been completely brainwashed. And it's sad to watch it. They've been completely brainwashed, man. So much so that they're willing to destroy the country. They're willing to destroy our economy and destroy everything if it'll punish the white man. Okay, they're punishing all of us. All right, it's like they're so mad about everything that they've been hearing and reading in the books about Kunta Kinte and stuff like that. Look, all that stuff is in our past. We've got to move forward. We got to move forward. All right. The only way to do that is to actually move forward and stop talking about it. All right. If you cut your leg. If you fall and cut your leg, I mean, if you keep peeling a scab, it's going to keep bleeding. It's going to take a long time to heal. Long time to heal. All right. If you leave it alone, guess what? Give it a couple of weeks, maybe a month. You no longer have the scar, guys. That's how we are. That's how our spirits are. If you keep on reopening the scab of racism, it's just going to keep bleeding. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse. The more you peel off that scab, man, it's going to take a long time to heal. Let's start the healing process. Let's move forward. Give Trump a shot. I already gave him a shot. I see what he can do. I know exactly what this is about. I would never vouch for a racist. All right. And it's not Trump that I'm actually advocating for. It's his policies that I like. I like where he stands on a lot of things. I don't agree with every single thing. But who would agree with that? It'd be crazy to agree with everything someone says. It's just stupid. But most of his policy, I'd say 98% of his policy, I agree with 100%. All right. So, guys, like, share, and subscribe. I hope you got a lot out of this video. I hope it's worth something to you. I hope it helps. I really do. Division. We have enough division. We really do. It's time for some real people to speak out and tell us what's really going on. All right. Leave the racism alone. Let's move forward into the future. Love your white brothers and sisters, your Asian brothers and sisters, your African brothers and sisters, no matter where you're from. If you're here legally in this country, I love you. All right. So let's stick together. Till next time.